here with Stephen Gordon, founder and CEO of Genesis Bank. My partner Emil Aaron here, head of community impact for Genesis Bank, and our esteemed director, Tam Nguyen. So gentlemen, what'd you guys think of the event?
This was, I think this was better than any event we've put on in the past. We've done all sorts of different kind of, inspirational panel events, speaker events, leaders who have built great companies, but this one really bringing together the community, the business community, and having them all network with one another, leverage off of one another, and have municipal leaders and entrepreneurs who have built successful businesses and all sorts of companies that enable a business to exist and grow and expand, and having them speaking while everybody else was interacting at booths, and I mean it was incredible. Yeah. It was really incredible with 650 RSVPs to attend, and we even got the great weather.
Yes.
I don't think we could have done better, but we're going to do more.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think the energy was amazing, and I just think all of the conversations that started here today were just amazing to see that growth. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to what comes next, and hearing about and being a part of the growth of a lot of these businesses.
Yeah. For me, I think one, it had all these components: had inspire, educate, and give back. I love that we capped it off with those small businesses that won those grants. They're gonna pay it forward. I love that we've also inspired other companies and people networking, inspiring each other. And we got educated today from these folks on how to do business. OCTA was up there saying, small businesses, this is exactly how you do it and how you do businesses and get a contract with us. People loved it.
Yeah, and experience. They were up there talking about, here's how you build a website, here's how you end up, and you got to have mobile, and you got to be out there in the digital world, and and they were really talking about the things that businesses think about every day, but they're not quite sure how to put it all together. Yeah. So and Tam, I'll add to that you as one of my partners in founding the bank, as a fellow board member, I'm driven by you every day.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't be more proud to be a co-founder and founding board member of this bank today. This event was next level. Each of our events we've done since the founding of this bank over the 3+ years has been amazing, but today we set another level.
So, speaking of founding, I'm in an entrepreneur sandwich right now, and I feel like we need to get right at it. So I want to hear from the men that, that have built some great businesses. Let's start with Stephen. Stephen, you're no stranger to being an entrepreneur.
Well, it started very early in my career, where as an investment banker, at a young age, I became a partner of a Wall Street investment banking firm, and from that day, as a partner, the word partner has a real definition to me, a real meaning. You're an owner. You have people that you're partnered with, and you're building something with, and you've got your own capital at risk every day. And our entrepreneurial clients are the same way. They've got their own capital at risk every day, and they worry about things at 11 o'clock at night, like payroll or bills they've got to pay, or how are we going to build the business or whatever. And then my whole career has been that, on steroids at a fast pace. Every bank, that I've launched, I launched from an idea on a piece of paper and then put my own capital at risk again. So I just simply have lived that dream and haven't known any difference. So I've had a very fortunate, blessed career, but as an entrepreneur, I understand our entrepreneurs. So I understand their worries, their concerns, their challenges, their hurdles, because I'm not just some guy that's pontificating from somewhere. I've lived it.
Yeah, I think that's what helps me, right? I'm about a year in now in the Genesis family, and from our first conversation, it was the opportunity to go from being an entrepreneur who can impact at one level to being an entrepreneur who now can have the backing of a bank, and Stephen mentioned to be able to impact at scale. And that's really what drew me to Genesis Bank. And so it's awesome to be an entrepreneur who gets to empower other entrepreneurs, right? And it's just awesome the way our team comes together. And I think when entrepreneurs sit with our team, they know it's different. They know what they're hearing, they know the approach is different, and they know that they're in better hands than they were before. So.
Yeah, as coming from an entrepreneur family, having a beauty college and watching my parents build that as a high schooler and college student, and spending a vast majority of my awake hours inside our family business and growing the beauty college over the last 37 years, I got to see it firsthand in terms of just building, being an entrepreneur, operating it, and then eventually just growing it to the point where if I could free myself up to invest in other things. I couldn't be more happy that I've invested as a partner in Genesis Bank. My dad was my North Star and a guiding light when it came to the beauty college and family business. Stephen Gordon's been a brother, partner in the North Star in this bank venture for me. What's incredible is I often share the story. I've met a lot of people in my life. I network a ton, I serve on a ton of boards, and I've met people who buy and sell businesses, people who buy and sell real estate and flip that, but this is one of one in terms of banks. And for me to meet Stephen Gordon and for him to welcome me, not just as a board member, as a founder, but true partner, I've invested along each of the way in terms of my time, talent, and resources, and I couldn't be happier in watching this growth.
So Tim, time, talent, and resources end up being a very valuable resource for small business owners, right? And
yes.
Given all these market dynamics that are at play, what's some advice that you have for some entrepreneurs, taking into account things that are happening in the world right now, in the local economy right now? How are you navigating all those challenges?
How I'm navigating, and what I recommend is, as small business owners, we tend to put our head down between our four walls and just go at it. And sometimes that's great for work ethic. The problem is you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so we need GBIE, we need Genesis Bank. The reality is our business in year 1 to year 10 of our family business versus year 20 to 30 to become a multi-million-dollar business, what we had to do is learn from professionals, people outside the four walls who are not operators, who beyond that, getting the professionals involved. Having a professional banker in your life is right up there with the other two in terms of legal and tax and CPA.
You just said something that got me thinking about something that I often say. So I thank you for the segue. But when you talk about the banking industry as a whole, bankers always say they want to bank entrepreneurs. It just happens to be a segment that somebody said, hey, focus on entrepreneurs, or focus on this segment or that segment. The problem is that most bankers have never done anything entrepreneurial in their entire life. So how do you relate to and understand what's involved in that journey? So if you don't fit the box, you don't fit the box, and you're not going to become a client of the bank. And that just, it doesn't work all the time in the entrepreneurial world. The companies don't grow necessarily inside that box. Like you said, the challenges that you have to get to the next level requires something, and having partners along the way, professional partners, banking partners, whatever we want to call any of the the professional service providers, they got to actually understand not just what you do for a living, but what you worry about at night.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate your time. And Stephen, thank you again. We're very happy for the event. This was a great event. We heard from a lot of businesses.
I'm smiling because when you said thank you for your time, it's as though you don't work at Genesis Bank. Right? I mean, you're part of the executive. You're part of the executive management team of the bank. So thank you. So thank you for your time as well.
Let me stay in Canada.
Hey, why don't you stick around for a cocktail?
All right.
We're happy.